I should unmute myself. I'll also unmute you.
No,
So-
we should do the entire show muted.
Oof, that's like a new art form.
And yeah, it will ignore everyone in the chat that says we're muted, and then we'll just post, and people will be like, "What is this? Can't read lips? What are you talking about?"
Oh man. Well, yeah, one of these days it'll be April Fool's again. That probably won't fall on a Thursday because I don't know what day it'll fall on.
I don't know. Anyways, hello everyone.
Yeah, hey,
welcome
everyone.
to Top Clack.
There's a thing.
Thank you for joining us this week on our, spiritual mechanical keyboard journey. We like to take this journey together and share it with all of you. So thank you for being here.
I am
we
keyboards.
have
You are keyboards. We connect linearly with our tactile spirits.
Oh,
Oof.
yes. We try not to be too clicky though. Spell with a Q, not with a C.
Hey, but sometimes we just click together.
Anyways, we do not have a guest scheduled for today, so we apologize about that if that was what you're looking forward to. But we do have a news doc as usual, and of course we'll end with a Q&A later. And we have some hype news later, and maybe a little giveaway starting. Stay tuned to find out.
Things might be happening. Things might be happening, and while people start rolling in from that notification, let's hit that intro. Ooh, that transition. Hey everyone, what's good? In the hood. It's another Thursday. Awesome. Brian, how are you doing today? How's your week been?
Fan-freaking-tastic. It's been a pretty good week. Can't really complain. Got the Seattle meetup coming up soon on the 28th, so I've kind of just been prepping for that. Got a lot of work to do still before that, but we'll truck on through it. It'll be good stuff.
But hey, Brian, that's a really cool shirt. Where'd you get that shirt?
Well, this is a Z Frontier shirt, bruh.
Z Frontier? No. Ooh. You guys should check out Z Frontier.
Heck yeah.
Hashtag sellouts.
Hashtag sellouts. Hey, I don't mind selling out to good people. It's when we sell out to the wrong people, it's really bad.
Oof. Devil went down to Top Clock looking for a soul to steal. Not right. Today.
Zekin, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. 4 months in a row. Awesome.
Heck
awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Great to see all you guys in the chat. For some reason, my Twitch, my OBS client says we have 0 viewers, but the Twitch window says we have 45.
It's always like
confusing.
Wrong and delayed and stuff.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
whatever.
know. I will say the Z Frontier shirt is not more comfortable than the novelty shirt or the Top Clack shirt, but you can be an official member of the Z Frontier fleet, which honestly, in terms of branding, is kind of cool. Like, you got a fleet.
Yeah, no, I like the logo. I don't really understand it, but I like it.
Eliva.
But yeah, this is actually not more comfortable than the novelty shirt or the Top Clack shirts, if I'm being honest. This is like the what is it? Here we go. Champion brand or whatever.
Is
so
it
that's like
real champion?
I don't know, but
I don't know either.
Either way, I'm gonna wear the shirt because I have it, and I'm gonna support Z Frontier because they're cool, and I got a sub read on my shirt. What could go wrong?
Yeah, dude, you too can be a sub.
Oh wow! Oh, that's pretty good.
Ryan, anything for a mail call for you?
I'm trying to remember, and I'm looking around, but I don't think I got very much. The only thing I did get is some of these new Catweewee springs, which are an alternative to Sprit springs. So I got a few different weights from Switch Mod. I got 62, 72, and 78 gram respectively. And I will be trying these soon. I will have some in a board for the Seattle meetup for sure.
Awesome.
I'm not entirely sure what weight I want to use, but we'll see what happens. I'm gonna try to get kind of a comparison going on between these and Sprit. See if even I can tell much of a difference.
Hopefully.
So that should be pretty cool.
Hopefully. I got something pretty cool. Actually, especially cool for everyone watching and everyone who will be watching the VOD in this coming week. I have an awesome present from Z Frontier. This is a Keycap set. And you might be wondering, Kiwi, why did you receive a cat keycap set? Don't you already have one? In fact, you're right. I do already have one, and I'm using it right now on my Touch. So why do I have an extra one? Because we in Z Frontier believe that, it's great for more people to be able to try the prototype for this keycap set. We want your feedback on it. They want your feedback on it. So, a very, very lucky individual could possibly be winning, and it being shipped sometime next week, their own cat keycap set from me to you, anywhere in the world except Antarctica.
Really?
I don't make the rules. That's just the rules.
Huh. Wait. Really?
I don't know a single transportation service that mails to Antarctica.
I've never mailed anything there, so I don't. Okay, yeah, sure.
But hey, 1.65 millimeter PBT.
Didn't you measure it actually at like 1.75?
Yeah, mine. When I measured mine, it was like 1.7, 1.75, which was the thick.
It is indeed the thick.
So yeah, someone's gonna be winning this. Coming up, we will start a giveaway at the end of the episode. So hold on tight. The winner will be announced next episode. So if you're watching the VOD, if you're international, if you gotta go to sleep in 5 minutes, who knows? Maybe you're about to take
don't worry.
a passionate shower.
Yeah. You don't a passionate shower. Nice.
You'll still have a chance to win.
All of my showers are passionate here. I get very intimate in and with my shower. But yes, you do not have to be here in this episode to win this set. There will be a Google form up that we will release at the end of this episode, and then you can sign up for that, and it'll be announced in a week. So everything will be open for about a week. So if you're a VOD watcher, an AOD listener, then you still have a chance.
And then the last thing I got in mail call, unrelated to keyboards, but a lot of people just want to know because I've been talking about it the last week and a half on Discord, which finally got my Switch in. Got it for Amazon Prime Day. Awesome. I haven't actually booted it up. All I've done is put on the side controllers, and I put on the glass screen cover. That's all I've done. I haven't even turned it on yet.
Huey, that's not a keyboard.
Has buttons, has push buttons.
All right, it's a keyboard. Close enough.
So that's...
Dory says, show us pants. I'm not standing up. I might not have pants on. That's just how Top Clack works, okay? Sometimes I have pants on, sometimes I don't.
So we'll see. That's all I have for mail call, and I think that's wrapping it up for mail call for you as well, Brian. So,
right.
Are we ready to get into it?
Yes.
Yes.
Let us get jiggy with it.
And now we must do the news. Bam. Green eggs and ham.
Wow, terrible. So I guess it's only natural that we transition into our first topic here, since we were, just talking a little bit about it.
Yeah.
So,
over on Kono, we got the Cap Alpha set for $80 and a supplementary for $18. So.
Yep. Okay. So $98 gets you the maximum amount of compatibility that Cat offers. And it's not too bad, honestly. You can do most layouts, barring a lot of the crazier ortholinear stuff and
just
slightly more uncommon things. But yeah, as long as you don't go too crazy, then you got a lot of compatibility there. And Huey and I have been really enjoying our sets. I currently have it on my TX60. I've been using it on some linears, and it's been working pretty nice for me, honestly. I was surprised at how much I liked it.
I've been really picky about it, to be honest. I put it first on my acrylic unicorn. I liked it there. I put it on my polycarbonate 910. I hated it there, but now it's on my Touch. I love it here. So for me, it kind of changes my perception of how I type depending on the Switch as well, which is definitely a very odd experience for me. Because for me, generally, I can put GMK on anything, and that's still how it is. Cool. For this, it actually kind of makes me makes me kind of think differently, feel differently when I type on it. Overall, I do like it. One thing I want to point attention to is the picture that has the 87 degrees. It's quote-unquote angled for a perfect sound. I don't know what that means, to be perfectly honest with you, like there probably could be a better explanation for why this slide exists. Because there's just 87 degrees in like, you see the 90-degree angle, right? So I'm guessing the 87 degrees is that coming up, and then you just see this zigzag. Like sound, I'm pretty sure sound goes in waves, not in zigzags. Like what? Like I'm not a scientist, unless it's like, you know, political sciences, which I studied and is useless. But sound isn't like that. I mean, sound is just wavy air, right?
Yeah, you know what? Even if it's like marketing mumbo jumbo, I do like that sound is actually becoming something more popular in the community. Because I felt like a couple years back, no one cared about what anything sounded like. They just cared about what it felt like, what it looked like. And now, like, sound has become such a staple for like even average enthusiasts. Like, oh, it has to sound good, or it has to sound like this or that. And in my opinion, these caps do sound really good. So there is that, but yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty happy that sound is becoming more of like a thing, and people are starting to question it, and people are starting to, I don't know, I'm not going to say this is happening here, but maybe people are starting to design things based around sound as well. So I think that's always pretty cool to check out.
So fun fact, you guys have known I reviewed SA Lime, I've reviewed /dev/TTY, and I've reviewed Mix. And you might be wondering, am I going to review Cat? You can bet your paws I will. So that's going to be a thing coming up in the future, soon-ish.
Bet
Otherwise,
your paws.
I think it's going to be. I think it's a good price concerning compatibility.
No, yeah,
concerning it's a new, very very thick keycap profile. Cool. I mean, probably not for everyone. I like it more than SA, which is kind of like an automatic win for me. Because that's like the lowest bar anyone could set. So
yeah, I mean, we've had our sets for what, like a week or two now. I already like it more than everything else except for Cherry, and I don't like it like much worse than Cherry. I just think it's kind of a different experience. I prefer the sound on it over Cherry, I think, in general, though.
So there's some improvements that need to be made. I've said some little quibbles about the die subbing, but otherwise, for like a prototype, pretty baller. Not gonna lie, for the die subbing, like pretty good overall. Like way better than you know, round one of Enjoy PBT even.
Yeah, I was trying to find errors, and I didn't really find a whole lot.
So sometime this weekend, I'm actually going to be uploading with my USB microscope a picture of every single keycap under the microscope, so everyone can, with me, scrutinize all of the legends, legend by legend.
Cool.
So that's hopefully will be cool and useful to everyone who might be interested. So check it out, kono.store. If you're in Asia, it's probably going to be up on Z Frontier sooner or later, if not already. The group buy will begin on August 13th, and production will end in November, so we're not going to be seeing the sets until around December, so we're looking at around, you know, Christmas time is when you're probably going to get it, to be honest, 5-ish months, a little bit of a stretch away, but hey, it's a new profile, they're doing new things.
Yeah, the group buy will be open until August 13th. It's open now.
Oh yeah, sorry, open until August 13th.
So, yeah.
You have some time, you know, to check it out, see what you're gonna do about what you want to do.
I definitely recommend trying it.
Yeah.
If you're, you know, if you're in the market for anything different at all, I think this is a winner, honestly. For me.
So yeah. So speaking of a lot of winners, you know, a lot of people, you know, I tell them, you know, tell me what you want, what you really really want, and a big thing people really really want these days is Bluetooth. So that moves on to our next topic, which is actually go on to the keyboard news. This is the Double 2 40% by KBD fans.
Yeah, so
like
we saw an interest check a while back that we covered about this.
It's like
people were calling it a cell phone.
The Exent had a baby.
Kinda, yeah.
Kinda,
yeah. Regardless, this is an aluminum keyboard with low profile design, and it has Bluetooth and RGB
and USB-C.
And USB-C. Programmable via TMK, which we don't really see too often these days, but you can also use that ydkb.io online configurator, which seems to be kind of hit or miss for people. But anyways, I actually think it looks like a pretty interesting product. And the price is not that bad. So you have a couple kit options. Your first kit could be case, PCB, brass plate, and stabilizers for $168. Or you can swap the brass plate out for an aluminum one to save $8, down to $160. Those are USD prices. So honestly, not that bad.
Yeah.
I think all things considered.
So one thing for people to consider, it does have Bluetooth, but all the prices are without battery. You gotta source your own battery, mostly because, if you don't know, shipping batteries internationally of any capacity, it can be a pain unless you're a company that does it often or specializes in it. And as a keyboard company, that's kind of difficult for them. So they give you the specs for the battery size, 40 millimeters by 177 millimeters, and a thickness of 4 millimeters. Most likely when this comes out, people are going to start having lists of like, hey, this, and this fits, which will hopefully make it easy for people. With the feet and the different options, you can either have 3-degree tilt, 14.8, or 11 degrees of angle, I think.
Wait.
I think that's what it says. 3 degrees for that one. Another one says 14,8 and then 11, oh, sorry. So it's going to be 8 degrees without the feet, without the big bumpers, or then you have also those other ones. So yeah, it can get kind of steep.
Okay, so you have options there.
So I think the big thing is, for a lot of people, for this price, would you consider this over something like the Plank and what the Plank offers?
Does the Plank offer Bluetooth and RGB?
No and no. But the Plank does have a square wave controller.
That's true, yeah. I mean, obviously that's targeted at very specific people, but you could argue Bluetooth is as well. But yeah, I don't know. I think the pricing is pretty reasonable here, and that makes it an interesting product in itself. Another thing to note, which is kind of interesting, is so the group buy ends in tomorrow, actually, July 20th. So if you want this, you gotta get in quick. But the expected delivery date is September 20th, so only a 2-month duration for this group buy. Seems pretty quick.
Yeah. I think it's pretty feature rich. I'm not gonna lie. If I had to spend my own money and you were like, Huey, I got a back to your knees. Are you gonna buy a Plank or are you gonna buy the double tube BLE RGB 40%? Right now, based on all the features, I'd get this.
I'd probably get this too. See, for me, I think the way 40% works is like, it's kind of like a portable thing. It's a travel thing. It's small, it's lightweight, you can like throw it in your bag or something. Having Bluetooth is a really big deal on that kind of product, in my opinion.
So here's an interesting thing. So I do complain all the time about the Exent and those massive sides. And yes, this is kind of like a baby Exent with a massive size, but the whole scale of this keyboard is still small, and all those extra sides mean is I can just grab it from the side nice and easy. Like, which is fine for portable, because it's still, even with those sides, going to be small for a keyboard. Which I think
this is not going to be a large
think it's
keyboard.
Fine. Which I think it's fine. So yeah, this is it. I think this is kind of a good option for a lot of people who want to get 40%, especially if you want to get a brass plate.
Yeah.
Especially when a brass plate is only $8 more than the aluminum plate. Like, come on, if you're getting an aluminum plate, like, brush yourself off. Upgrade, spend the $8, get a brass plate. Just don't eat Chipotle this week. That's all. That's it.
Hey man, some people prefer aluminum plates. Just saying.
And those are probably the same people who don't ask for guac at Chipotle.
Oh golly, Invisibility! Thank you very much for the sub via Twitch Prime.
Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub so much. And let's move on to our next news. Thank you everyone for the bits, even though you're just donating like cents and saying random, actually funny things. But
Toby would Megaforce. Yep.
Yeah. So let's move on to the buy for the ALF DC60 over on Keycaps. This is by ALF Studio, who you should guys know from the ALF X1, 2s, and 3s. This is a 60%. It's a very interesting looking case. Probably might remind you of another kind of case. 7 degrees of angle. Normal 60% tray mount design. Weight is 1.2 kilograms. Has a battery section for a Bluetooth PCB. with the DC60 PCB, which has pretty Swiss holy, but it does have support for things like Bluetooth.
Yep. So let's just discuss the elephant in the room real quick. What does this case look like? It looks like the Fiel. There's not really any getting around that. The design is almost uncannily exact, and I mean, people have been talking about it and how it does look exactly like the Fiel. And I saw in one thread that I don't know if it was Alf or if it was KBD fan saying that this design actually came first on a different design. It was basically this exact same thing, but had an integrated wrist rest in it, like aluminum wrist rest that came out really far, and they just shaved that wrist rest off, and this is what they were left with. And that was supposedly a render from 2015 or 2016. So they're at least claiming that this design might actually be more original than the Fiel. I mean, I'm not going to comment on that at all because I don't have enough information, but it was just something that was interesting that I thought.
So I think for a lot of people, whether or not it copies it, that's definitely a big debate for a lot of people. But I think for most people, they won't care about that, and they'll do the same thing they did for the Tofu, which looked like another board, which was what's the dollar and cents at the end, right? Because people are going to compare it to the Fiel, which ran for $325 most recently, which Leandrin brought it down after I complained majorly on the show recently. And then now the case alone is $80 for regular colors and $120 for that awesome Everest white.
Yeah, which that white is pretty awesome, if I'm being honest.
It's a really nice white.
Okay, yeah, so $80 for most colors.
And this had $30 shipping for US, so we're at $110.
Yeah. So so this case, at least from these pictures that they're showing here, we don't know if it has a weight. I'm gonna guess it does not at that $80 price point. It would be very odd to me if this had some kind of weight system like the Fiel. So that is one thing that the Fiel probably has over this case is not only you have an additional weight, but the overall weight of the keyboard itself is probably quite a bit heavier. Because if you've ever used a Fiel, it is one of the heavier.
It is heavier. They did say this is the case alone. I think it's just 1.2 kilograms. So I mean, it's
okay. So much lighter than the Fiel.
Also much cheaper.
Also much cheaper. So I guess if you were looking for what is basically an identical design to the Fiel, and you don't care about how much it weighs, or you don't care about supporting Leandrin for some reason, then here's the option
for a third of the price. Because I'm pretty sure Leandrin does not include shipping with that $325.
Yeah, so it's way less than a third. It's like a fifth of the price.
So I think for a lot of people, this is going to be very attractive, to be perfectly honest, just because there's a price there. And the same reason the Tofu is really popular, just because, hey, that's a low price point for anyone who wants to build their first 60% and still be fashionable without, because, for example, back in Brian and I's day, back in our day, still our day, of course, but back when we were the youth of the keyboard community, in a sense, the cool kids were, I want to build my first keyboard, what am I going to do for a 60%, you got your GH60 PCB, you got some $20 aluminum plate, and then you got a text lipped or no lip case. And that was
low pro,
by the way. And I was like, oh, look at me, guys! I just got some DSA granite around 1 because I'm such a baller, right? And that was the bee's knees. And now, if you're a 60% builder today, even starting out, it's amazing. Honestly, these options. This is Bluetooth.
It's insane. It's insane. It really is. So there's no argument here that they're putting out really nice options for the price points that they're hitting, because not everyone has $200, $300, $400 to spend on fancy cases. That's just how it is. So their approach has always kind of just been, let's put out reasonable products at a really low price that at least look and for the most part act like a more premium product. So that's always pretty interesting to me. So I actually I need to do a little bit more comparison, but I have a Clipe and I have a Tofu case. I want to do a little side by side. And also something I noted that was also interesting is that they released the Tofu very, very recently, and that is pretty similar to the Clipe.
Oh,
and then now
KBD fans released the Tofu.
Yeah,
this is Alpha.
True. This is Alpha. And then after we saw the Clipe clone quotes here, now we're seeing the Fiel clone quotes here. So I thought that was really interesting timing, if nothing else. But yeah, I guess if you can't afford a Fiel, or Fiel are way too limited because they are very limited and they're not cheap, then this is an alternative.
Speaking of buys that were considered cheap, the QXP60, Brian, I think you're in that group buy, was considered definitely cheap for what it was at the time. And Quantrix, or Quantastraphus on Keycaps, has the new interest check out, which is going to be for the Q 65% keyboard. There's been a lot of teasers. He does have physical samples on hand, which is awesome always to have physical samples, including built typing sounds by people. Cool. USB-C,
so
no in-switch LEDs. Here you go, 60% blocker for the corner, blocker for between the arrows and your alts.
Yeah, so I'm actually not in this group buy. The
QXP. Are in the QXP?
Oh, the QXP. Oh, I thought you were talking about the Q.
No. The Q is interest checked. It's not even open.
Yeah, I was like, so I have seen this before. This has ran already, right? Like some people already have these.
No, people have prototype. You need prototypes to send up.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So a lot of people have been complaining, once again, that this looks like something else. And what does this remind you of?
I have a polycarbonate version of what people are saying it looks like. This is the PC. This is the 910 RE for the one I have. The RE, and mine's the PC version, polycarbonate. You got your corner blocker. You got your arrow separator. It's a thing.
Yeah, to me, I definitely see the resemblance to the 910, and I don't know if this is intended to be a copy or if there are actually a lot of design differences that I'm just not seeing in this interest check, which is also very possible.
It has that character in the corner, and that character is accented to your plates. So
that's kind of cool.
So yeah, it's got that going.
Also, just because we missed earlier, shout out to Radical Randy and Geo for the Twitch Prime subs. Thanks guys. So I don't know what does chat think about this? We just got done talking about the Fiel clone, and this might be like a 910 clone. Are these wildly different products, or are these just clones, or is this actually something new, something innovative? Are these different enough to consider? Because plagiarism is kind of something that's always kind of been around in this community, and as the community grows, we're seeing a lot more of it. There's a fake canoe up on Taobao now.
I think one of the big things really is, what do the sides look like when it comes to something like this? Because I believe corner blocked, arrow separated, 65% will be the new kind of thing. The mounting is different as well. So in terms of looks and copying, I think it now comes down to the sides of the keyboard, TKLs. The TKL, Windkeyless TKL, is a tried and true, became standardized format from the past and modernized. And now when people make TKLs, it's how big of a forehead do you want to put? What kind of sides do you want to put? What kind of feet do you want to put? And I think 65% in their popularity are going to head the same way. So I don't think it's too far. I think it's maybe a stretch to say it's completely copying. For sure. Yeah. I think Zekin did post an album of his. Yes, he did. I have it on screen now. So it's it's a thing.
Okay, cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know. I have yet to see a true side profile of it, so I don't know.
He doesn't have a true side profile either. So
yeah, there's not one in the interest check.
So this is a basic interest check. Give your interest if you are interested. No price yet. Cherry support only. No Alps. So sorry, Nathan. Kim, QMK. No in-switch LEDs. Which for a PCB, I would rather save the money, and even if it's saving $1, I would save it to not support in-switch LEDs, because hey, I can go to the Dollar Tree and I got a popsicle. I'm happy.
What's funny is how popular LEDs used to be, like in-switch LEDs, and now I feel like nobody uses them anymore.
I feel like it's because back then we had very little way to like express our creativity. Like there were very few key sets that ran. Like we always talk about, there's like maybe 1 or 2 big key sets per season that would, everyone would hop on, right? But other than that, you get that. Maybe you get a text case or some kind of like fancy group buy 60% case that came once a year. And then like, ooh, I got some Ergo Clears or some lubed vintage blacks I use Techies thin or thick on, right? And then there's like nothing else really to do other than like, I added LEDs, I guess. Yeah. WASD, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so, for sure. Yeah. I mean, in general, I think I kind of like the design of the queue. Like, it's definitely a group buy I would join, especially since I wasn't able to get on the similar 910 group buy. So this is something to consider. I wonder what the price is going to be like here.
TBD. I'm excited to see the price because QXP60 was pretty reasonable, to be perfectly honest, and I'm hoping he can keep that same expectation with the
QXP was like super reasonable. I got that. I joined that mainly because it was so cheap and it shipped from the US, so shipping to me was also going to be cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not too often you could find like a full custom kit, like top mounted, high profile, for like under $300, like with a brass plate even. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Speaking of being cheap or trying to save you the bucks, Evan from the Van Keyboards is hitting us up with another Kickstarter. This is for the Kumo, a compact mechanical keyboard. It is a PCB mounted 40% keyboard that is hot swappable support. Sorry if you guys see me doing a lot of scrolling. I have to scroll past a lot of the language I can't read to what I can read. But so all the 125 backers are gone. So let's just say the price is effectively now just $150 because that's the only one available. Hot swap, 40%. Keycaps look pretty decent, to be honest, in terms of like
keycaps they look pretty good. Yeah.
Cool gifts, I guess.
Yeah, I mean this is a pretty. I mean, aside from
they have a little picture to show you how to install keycaps in case you don't know, which I guess for a lot of people who may never been in the hobby before and might not even know people change keycaps.
Yeah, but this is a very kind of entry level product, I feel like, or at least that's the market they're kind of targeting here. Because like let's break this down. Like, what is the difference between this and a minivan? His trademark
$50.
Price, okay. Plate. The minivan has a plate.
This is made of a plastic case, not an aluminum one.
Yeah.
It's injection molded. So a big part of the funds he does have to pay for, which is why he's doing the Kickstarter, is this is an injected molded case. So he needs the molds to be made for this case. You can actually get a plate in the future for $12, but that won't be available until after the group buy runs. So that's the future thing. So that's not really a big deal about this. We're talking about how this is now, which is a PCB mount, 40% keyboard, different layout options, hot swappable, per key LED, fully reprogrammable.
So
halfway to its goal. So cool. Good for Evan. He still has a whole month to go basically.
Okay, so I don't know where you are in the stream, but scroll down to the picture of the PCB on the back where it shows the hot swap sockets.
Yes.
So this is really interesting. Yeah, so this is kind of how he's accomplishing having different layouts while still maintaining the hot swap, because when the Kale hot swap came out, that was like the limitation, right? You can only have them on like a switch, and you can't really have different layouts unless you physically move the hot swap switches. And usually you're not gonna like have extras or anything. So here he actually has 2 hot swap sockets per switch on most of the bottom row keys, it looks like. So that way you can kind of alter which layout you want on the bottom row at the very least. So an interesting approach, if nothing else.
Mm-hmm. Definitely want to say Mo0, Bao0, thank you so much, 10 months in a row for that tier 1 sub. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So we have this at $150. to be honest, looking at the keycaps you need to use, you're basically not going to be using other keycaps available. It's kind of minivan-esque in layout options for keycaps, which basically means you have no compatibility other than other sets that support minivans, which are numbered, and the set it comes with, which at least it comes with a PVT die. I assume die subset. I can't read. All I can read is PVT. I know what those letters stand for.
Yeah.
I see like PVT, Japanese, 52 Japanese. Okay.
Yeah, it's. I get he's kind of going for a theme here. I mean, it's the Kumo. It's supposed to be like a Japanese kind of thing going on, and he has a lot of the thing in Japanese. But like, I wonder how necessary writing all this Japanese text is, because is this like targeted somewhere in Japan or like for Japanese people?
In Japan, 40% keyboards are a big deal. Split keyboards are a big deal, and customs of both that people hand wire or make themselves custom PCBs are a big deal. So it very much well be that hey, he sees a market, he's gonna try to penetrate it.
Sometimes you just gotta penetrate, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you're interested in this, here's a Kickstarter. He does have, there's 32 comments. Feel free to leave a comment if you, want to give him some advice. I think he's learned a lot from his last Kickstarter, to be perfectly honest. And I think it's a good way. This group Kickstarter page looks way more fleshed out with actual details that people would want to know. Unlike his first one, where it didn't get updated until people really pressured him to update it. So at this point, I think it's cool that he's actually has all the details. Here it is, what it is. Bam.
Yeah, I really like that hot swap idea of using multiples to change layouts. I think that's clever. I wonder if we're going to see more of that in the future.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of something we're going to see in the future, I'm really happy about. Kono's coming back, a new K-type. But it's not a K-type, it's the re-type. The re-type. Which, honestly, great name. I'm really happy that, hey, what do you think about this name? I really like the name. I know a lot of people don't like the name, probably, but I love the name.
I think it's alright.
It's a high-profile K-type with a new PCB. The PCB will have improvements. So I definitely want to say something big. So according to the render, it looks like it is middle profile, mid-pro high, as in like the M65. It is actually not. I talked to Input Club. I'm like, hey, you cannot do this mid-profile. And Brandon, you guys might know him, is their engineer, and he's like, what do you mean? I'm like, haven't you seen the renders on your own site? He's like, no, I've been in China, doing real work. I'm like, okay, fair. I sent him a picture, and he's like, oh, no, it's not like this. He sent me an engineering picture, which I can't share, but it is actually high profile, properly high profile. Say that much. That makes me excited. He is actually there working on the stabilizers as well, which, as we all know, K-type stabilizers, yeah, they need to be improved. So
they were bad.
Hoping, yeah, they're bad. They're bad. So we could look at, we're getting some underglow this time. Instead of, just side glow, it's going to be, underneath. How they achieve it, what's going to be underneath, I don't know yet. Whether it's going to be, all a injection molded single piece like they're doing with the Kira, we don't know yet. We just know there's going to be a lot going down,
Yeah.
So Club's ready to get down.
Yeah, this more or less seems like an upgraded kind of K-type. So things we're seeing here, high profile versus the low profile. That's cool. That's a plus. We still got that RGB. So Huey was telling me earlier, they have a new PCB that also supports USB-C fast charge.
I believe so. I need to double check on that, but I'm pretty confident that's one of the specs. Pretty confident.
Yeah, that's a confident potential, and that would be really cool, because if you don't actually know, the K-type, and presumably this as well by extension, has two USB-C inputs. So one to plug in to your PC or whatever, and then the other you can use for any other USB-C stuff. So pretty cool stuff there. I'm looking forward to this because high profile, already a huge upgrade over that silly low profile K-type.
Big question I think that we need to ask, and we won't find out until August 1st unless I find out sooner. I'll see if I can share information sooner. But will this be the same $200 price point, or will they increase the price?
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt. I'm gonna say they're gonna keep it at 200.
I really hope they can keep
I
it
hope
200
so.
as well. That would be awesome. I know I talked to Andrew quite a few times, Mr. CEO, and he firmly believes, $200 is kind of like the magical number that most prosumers wouldn't go past until you get to like enthusiast level, like where Brian and I and a lot of you in chat are. So we will see. We will see on the first or sooner if I can finagle the information out of them with my standard array of asking nicely, winking, and alcohol.
Yeah, tell us stuff, please. Noricon and Camel Leopard, thank you so much for the tier 1 subs there. 4 months for both of you, fantastic.
Also, let's be real. I mean, like, for people like Brian and I who will probably get this board either for ourselves or a review, change out the keycaps. It's just.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really a surprise. The caps on the K-type weren't that great either. I thought they looked okay as far as OEM caps went, but that grainy, like, tie-how PBT that feels like sandpaper, no, I can't do that. It's awful. Anyone who uses that is just in the wrong, in my opinion. You gotta have smooth caps, even if it's PBT.
I wonder how they will improve it, or they have other options. Because, like, the Kara, the new one they're working on, that's cherry profile PBT keycaps.
Yeah, and they were nice. They felt good. It's like enjoy PBT. Like it feels right.
It feels Gucci gang.
They should ship the retype with cat profile. That could be cool. I would like to see what Switch options we'll have for this as well. I mean, obviously, I imagine the array of Hako lineup will probably be shown here, but it'd be cool to see what else they got.
Yes, indeed. Okay. Next news topic. Something that I want to talk about for 2 reasons. The first reason, of course, is this interest check itself. This is the interest check by codingkid.ninja. This is the CONIC keyboard, a 50% ortholinear. This person's running an interest check. Once 20 people are interested, coding is going to be like, hey, let's start the group by at 20. I'm guessing he or she just wants to sell, between 20 or 30. Simple ortho, 50%. You gotta solder in your own Pro Micro, Alps, Cherry MX support, north-facing switches from what I can tell, 2U in the middle. Very, very simple. If you're interested, hit up that interest check form. But this isn't the main. I do want to talk about this just real quick. Like, this is cool. It's very low price, like $15 to $20 estimate for the PCB. Which, like, for a lot of people who like, building their own acrylic sandwich cases and want to try something different, this could be a cool avenue to explore.
Yeah, well, I'm not gonna jump again too much on that because $15 to $20 is actually expensive depending on what comes with the PCB. So obviously you have to source your own controller,
policy resistors, right?
Yeah, and if you have to do like diodes, resistors, the controller, anything. If this is just a blank PCB with no components on it, $15 to $20 is actually kind of expensive.
Yeah, so I think it hopefully will be diodes included because in the second picture those are SMD diode pads, and I don't think they would expect. I know a lot of people just don't like SMD soldering for realistic reasons.
Obvious reasons.
Reasons. So, if they're not obvious to you, by the way, it's a pain if you don't have like a super thin solder tip, or you're just not used to it.
Yeah, or if you don't have like a hot air like rework station or something like. Yeah. If you just have a normal soldering iron, SMD soldering can be a nightmare. So
here's a point that I want to talk about, just because I have feelings as a human being. This is called the CONIC keyboard, and it is a 50% ortholinear keyboard, which does sound and could resemble another keyboard that rhymes with CONIC that Brian is actually about to bust out. It's called the Preonic. Very similar, as you all might know. So the first comments when I saw this CONIC keyboard was Jack Hubert saying, no problem with this idea, low-cost ortho, yay, but please choose a different name too similar to the Preonic, which made me think, the last time Jack did this was when Cartel was running what was originally called the Dank, which is now just called the Contra, and it was mostly changed because they wanted to make sure, because the way that the Dank was positioned, they had the giant, QMK logo, so it made it seem like it was, an official QMK product, and Jack's like, no, it's not an official QMK product, it does run QMK, but I don't want you to have that QMK branding. So they're like, okay, we'll change it because we don't want to have that branding. So this makes me think, this is just called the CONIC, and Jack wants to change it because it's too similar. And Jack does have a trademark, I'm guessing, for all of his products: Clank, Creonic, QMK even. So this made me think, what's the extent for something that sounds like something else? What if I made a 50% board like this, and my main feature I wanted to introduce to the community was having a full MIDI controller that can do different MIDI sounds, not just a single square wave, but a full MIDI board, and I wanted to call it the harmonic. Is that too far? And what if I even said it goes on KLL and not QMK?
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like, it seems like ONIC is like the offending, term here, or not term, but like function group of letters. ONIC being kind of an issue here.
Like,
supposedly,
what if using KLL and the same PCB work they used in the K-type, which has technically can achieve a faster response rate than QMK PCBs, and I called it the supersonic. I don't know. I
mean, look, we've had Jack on before. We've talked to Jack a lot.
Nice guy.
We know Jack is a good person. He's a nice guy, seemingly. From our interactions with him, it's been very good. He's always been great to us. So I don't see it as like a super issue. Like, I don't feel like he's attacking him here or anything.
I mean, he is still supporting this guy in this thread. He's like, hey, if you break out this, you can do this awesome thing. He's still being extremely helpful, extremely kind. I just don't know whether or not the name similarity is as a big deal for it, and quote unquote his brand, as someone said in chat, or this. It just seems a bit weird, but maybe he does have a valid point. A lot of people will say he has a very valid point. He has to quote unquote defend the trademark. I don't think CONIC interferes with his trademark. Otherwise, what about the company Keytronic, which makes keyboards?
Yeah,
I don't know.
In my opinion, CONIC's not even a very good name, anyways. So
yeah,
I like. Yeah, he offers up Fractal as another name in the comments section, and I actually like that quite a bit.
That is honestly a better name, but I don't think.
But yeah,
if this person is going to change their name, I want them to change their name because they have to, and not because of this possibly, in my opinion, possibly bad reason. I don't think it's. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know if it's necessarily too close or too far. But the only similarity is 4 letters: ONIC. What if I made the harmonic? What if I made the moronic? I don't know, but that's a can of worms that we could discuss forever, but we won't. So we're gonna move on to the next topic, which is kind of a big deal. It was a roller coaster. This next one's a roller coaster. It's the espectro group buys. All of you know, this has been going on for a long time, and during this week, Dave had a big update, which is basically, as a lot of you guys have kind of fallen out of the news for this because most people haven't been following this because it's been so long. Espectro factory basically said delay, and eventually they just ghosted Dave completely. $34,000 US, and he's like, well guys, I gotta cancel the group buy, I gotta refund people, I gotta sell my car, my house, my life, etc, etc, etc. Basically the factory tried to espectro patronus Dave's wallet.
I wish I had a wand.
So that's unfortunate news. There is good news. There is fortunately good news. He sent people he knows in China, and they found the factory owner. They're basically, they found a way to force this factory owner to make sure he makes all those espectros. I don't know what coercion or whatever they had to do this, but apparently it looks like it's going to be going through, and I guess very fortunately, yeah, I guess a great. I mean, sure, Dave and Top Clack, we have our differences, but I would hate for a factory just rob a vendor in the community,
oh yeah,
like it could have gone,
Yeah, no vendor should have to like sell his cars, his house, other things in his life because a factory screwed him over. Like, I know that kind of makes sense because he's the one putting in the order, he's the one running it. He should be responsible, but like, this is where we have, sometimes we have issues with group buys and products when, there's, you have a vendor that's different than a manufacturer. Because, as a vendor, you're like, cool, here's this epic project. It's going to be great. Here's all the information. Make this for me. And the manufacturer is like, yes, I will make that for you. And people are like hyped and they pay for it and they buy it. And then the manufacturer is like, well, here's something that's not right. Or here's nothing at all. Like, as a group buy runner, as a vendor, what do you do at that point? What do you do?
And it was really difficult for him before he knew, they were able to track down the factory owner and get the factory going again. Because, people were doing chargebacks, which locked his PayPal account, so he couldn't even, refund people, as a normal, as he was actually trying to do. Actually trying to get his money out of PayPal so he could refund people. Because it was far past the PayPal protection period, was way past that 3 months. I think it's on, 9 months now for this group buy, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, quick side note to Brian Mins and PMS and Chicken for the Twitch Prime subs. Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
Appreciate
guys.
That.
So,
as well as Tonka Tonk. I'm actually a little far back in chat. Whoops. Sorry, go on. Well, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
So other than that, I just want to bring this because I'm happy that he didn't have to do anything crazy, and they're able to continue. Hopefully, able to continue, and will still continue with this buy and live his life, for better or worse. So, best of luck. We have our differences, but best of luck.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't deserve that shit. No one really does.
Next thing on our news topic, which is something that makes me really, really excited. Have you ever thought Tribosys 3204 was too thick? I thought it was too thick, and Krell was like, hey, you thought it was too thick? Well, do I have some news for you? Take two. And this is the intercheck for the Tribosys 3203 switch lubricant. Yeah, tentative depending on community reaction, of course, is what he said. Looking at if we can get 500 orders in, $6.49 for a vial. Not too bad. I really hope it's happening. I really hope, come on.
It's so cheap, and 3204 has been pretty widely accepted as a pretty good lubricant and a pretty good value lubricant for switches. And I do like it. I have it. I'm actually using it in my switches right now that I'm using. It can work quite well, but I also want a thinner product. I've always preferred thinner lubes and oils versus thicker lubes and greases. And that's just my preference. So I'd like to see something a little bit thinner, a little bit less viscous, or more viscous, whatever, than 3204. So
same.
I want to see this, guys. Come on. I know a lot of you out there want to see it too. Make sure you show interest in this.
Let's make it so. The group buy will run August 7th to August 28th. So get your F5s ready on that August 7th to order, 27 vials for yourself and 28 for your significant other, if you know what I am saying. Because I don't know what I'm saying. But 23203, yeah.
I forgot to add it to the doc because it was in an email. But on a side note, if you do like the Tribosys lubes and stuff, and you like supporting switchmod.net, he will be bringing his Grade 0 205, which is the even thicker one. If you're into that, that will actually be hitting his store in the next couple weeks, supposedly. So that could be cool as well if you're into something like that. I know a lot of people have been liking that too.
Thick lube is kind of like the new N kid right now, right? People are like, "Ooh, I like a thick with that lube," and or old school. I'm like, yeah, what's my thin mix, But
Yeah. Yep. So good stuff. I ideally I would love to see 3203, 3204, and 3205. I don't know if I think he calls it something different, but I would love to see all three of those and even more in stock at switchbot.net. And you know, to want that, you have to have the support, you have to have the demand. So I'm really hoping that all three of these end up in the store frequently.
Speaking of on the store, real quick, we did cover it in the past, but because they're in stock, they're hot. You know, be a hot boy or gamer girl and get these Catweewee springs. $10 for 110, 55, 62, 68, 72, 78 grams. I'm still waiting for that 63.5 gram weight. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the bee's knees right there. But hey,
I think he has all the proper weights covered, and you know, with Sprit's questionable behavior in the community, a lot of people are like, hey, I don't want to buy or support anything Sprit because, you know, he's a scammer or whatever because of things that happened in the past. And like his Sprits are really common on the market. Like most of the places that you go find like gold-plated springs, a lot of times they're Sprit.
Yeah.
So this is the alternative to that. And pretty good price, $10 for 110. It's not bad.
Speaking of things that are a pretty good price, what's pretty good price?
Free.
Free. You are absolutely right, my dude. Speaking of free, what's free? Maybe a cat alphas. Actually, it's alphas. Is it supplementaries as well, or is it just alphas? This is alphas. Yeah.
Wait, what? Alpha is the name of it.
Oh yeah.
The name of the colorway.
Cat profile.
Cat profile
alphas,
alpha key set. Yeah.
The cat's keycap set. I have it behind me. I have it right here. Right here. Yeah, guys. Just you gotta be in our Discord to win.
It's really simple. I'm gonna post the link right now. You guys can fill it out. Really simple. All the info's there.
Yeah.
Yep. Discord username and number. You got to be in the Discord, and then it'll be RNG right before the next episode. Easy peasy.
It will be closed. It'll be closed on
5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Right before our next show, the 7/26. So you got about a week. So pretty cool stuff. Yeah. Sorry.
While we have this, just really want to do a quick sponsor thank you to Z Frontier, who sent this all the way out. Which is funny because like they kind of knew like we were gonna do a week-long giveaway, and they still sent like 2-day DHL from China to my house.
Yeah.
Which is like
sometimes I wonder if that's all they use, just because like every time we get anything from them, it's always really quick.
You guys could have saved half the price of this key set and just did a more normalized shipping. But hey, thank you Z Frontier so much for this set and for letting us do a giveaway. So
yep,
let's move on to our sponsor spot.
Hopefully you guys will like this. Yeah, and of course, just keeping with the theme here, we'll start out with the Beast in the East, Z Frontier. Thank you once again for the key set to give away. You can go to this link right here that I'm about to post and find all sorts of epic products by Z Frontier, or that they run through. They pretty much run key sets on key sets on key sets on key sets on key sets and some keyboards.
Key sets.
And, on another quick side note, they are heavily supporting our upcoming 2-year anniversary.
We should wait and talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
I will. Spots, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
Because it's like a self-sponsored, but everyone-sponsored event.
So, yeah, that's very fair. So
hecka awesome. Go check them out. Lots of key sets, awesome group buys they run for keyboards all the time. And special note, Brian and I in the near future will be doing an AMA for the Chinese community on the normal zfrontier.com website, not the en.zfrontier.
Yeah, the actual Chinese.
Yeah, they're going to have translators to translate questions and our answers to their audience. That will be pretty cool. That's going to be coming up in the near future. Moving on to our next super awesome sponsor, Novel Keys. What can you get at Novel Keys? Some of the best switches on the market, whether they're Box Royals, any of the high variety of Kale switches. The new Hawka Royals, which, Brian, you're quite enjoying your clears. I haven't built my trues yet, and I feel bad about it. Because like, he sent me all these trues to build. I'm like, I haven't built it yet because I'm still waiting for... So I'm going to build it soon. That's going to be fun. I'm really excited to try it. In my hand, they feel great. So yeah. I'm pretty pumped for it.
They're good.
Awesome.
I really like the Hako Royals.
Grab some Switches, grab a T-shirt, you know, and if you need to, you know, why not grab those new kits he has? What's those new kits he has? The Let's Split Vitamins Included kit, which is an awesome Let's Split kit. Plates, bottom, PCB that's hot swap, you know. That's gonna be coming out real soon once it's not sold out.
Those sold out pretty quick, I think. Yeah. Pretty good price.
They did. They were a great price.
Yeah, make sure you check out the Hako Royal Switches. And while you're there, make sure you use promo code TOPCLACK, that's 2 words, to get 5% off your total order. So, you know, maybe cut down some of that shipping costs, especially if you're international.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we have Zeal Generation. I'm always just going to emphasize that ever since you told me now. So you can check out at zealpc.net. He's got some of the most wildly appreciated tactile switches on the market in the Zelios. He's got the linear versions, Telios, which are pretty freaking awesome. IMO. The group buy for the Zephyr round 2 is still going on. You can check that out there as well. And, you know, I'm really hoping for these silent linears in the near future. He keeps telling me that they're coming soon.
Come on. Next round, supposedly. Next round, we'll see.
Fingers crossed, because I could need some. I need some of those. I need a good alternative for MX Silence because they're just too expensive.
It's a little too much for me, to be honest. Yeah. With that. I want
too expensive.
Hard rubber. You know what I'm saying?
I do too, but I want silent switches for my Pratronus'd because I want to be able to hear the MIDI feature. So I think this is like one of the 2 boards I really want quiet switches in. So I think lubed, silent, Telios or comparable is going to be really sweet.
And the last but not least, one of the big things that should definitely catch your eye in Zeal's site, that Zephyr. That's Zephyr. Oh, come on.
Yeah, I have one next to me, and it is pretty freaking awesome.
From a scale of 1 to Miley Cyrus post VMAs, like, how do you feel about when you have to hand it off?
I'm gonna be a little bummed, honestly. I mean, obviously it's not mine. I built it for Wilda, but it's a pretty sick board. I'm gonna start lubing it tonight. Actually, it's gonna be good stuff. I'm a little bummed. It is one of the nicest, like, overall, like, aesthetic boards that I've used in a while. Like, the attention to detail is like really high. I dig it. And the 5mm plate is really quite something. It's one of the better typing experiences I've had. So, would like to see more of those.
Last but not least, Kono.store/Impa Club, one of our awesome big sponsors. They got a lot of things going right now. You know, if you don't win the Cat Alpha set, you can go get one there for the group buy. It's a great price. They also have the MDA Big Bone if you're ready for, you know, that big bone life. I'm not fat. I'm just big bone. I promise. If you want something more luscious, you know, they have that SA bubble caps with those very nice, luscious, round novelties. Very, very motherly kind of tone about those bubble keycaps, you know what I mean? And of course, they have like the top clack set of the month, GMK Triumph Adler 90. Yeah.
That is the hotness, not gonna lie.
And of course, they got their pre-orders for the Kira. Check out the interest checks for that new X1, which is gonna be great if you have any friends like me who are like, I want a better keyboard, but I only want a low chiclet keyboard that matches my MacBook Pro because I'm this kind of person. X1 is probably going to be best for them. And, you know, for a travel board, not too bad because it's Bluetooth. And, of course, DSA Groove. And, of course, Retype. They got a lot going on because coming up
Making waves.
Speaking of making waves, we got some big talk. Top Clack is 2 years coming up next month. You know, we've been making a lot of waves since we started 2 years ago. Our official 2-year anniversary, which we will celebrate on time this year, will be August 23rd, 2018. Save the dates. We're gonna go out and I'm gonna get you a nice corsage. We're gonna go dancing in the moonlight.
Yeah, we're gonna take you out to like a buffet first.
Wine and dine you. You're gonna look at my eyes, and you're gonna see a future with me, where we're gonna be together doing this for years on years. You're gonna get old and tired, but I'm gonna be here in front of the screen, supporting you, giving you encouraging words about keyboards.
Yep, and on your deathbed, you'll come to realize that Top Clack was there for you. We were always there for you.
So, what does this mean? You might be asking, because a lot of you guys might have not been around for the 1 year anniversary, and that was poppin'.
It was epic. If you guys were there for that, you know that we did a lot of really fun competitions that spanned like the course of a week or two. We had so many giveaway items. A lot of really cool and epic things went out. You know, keyboards went out, super high end, like one-off artisans by like Key Collective went out. You know, we had so many things to give away, and it was a lot of fun, a really good time. And you know, we're gonna do it this year again, and we're gonna hopefully do it bigger, better, and more streamlined than last year. And you know, we already know a lot of the products that are coming in for the giveaway, and I'll tell you right now, you're gonna want to be part of this shit, guys. We got some stuff, and we're still getting more stuff.
Yeah. So we'll say this now. We're gonna have competitions like we did last year, but we only brought one competition from last year to the modern year. So if you look back and you're like, oh, I'm gonna try to start working on this. No, you might not be working on the right competition yet. We'll be announcing the competitions soon. And we will, when we announce the competitions, we'll have a big special episode on that date. It's gonna be literally a 3-hour episode we've planned out, just like last year, where we'll be going over some the best of the best for the contest results. We'll be giving out the prizes. We got raffles going on. We got contests. We got news. We got juggling. We don't have juggling, but it's gonna.
I can try. I'll fail, but I'll try. It'll be good stuff though. I mean, it's supposed to be an appreciation episode, a big shout out and thanks to you guys for, helping us make it this far and, trying to give back. So, and there will be lots of giving back. I assure you, you guys should be pretty hyped for this. Trust me. Mango, thank you so much for that tier 1 sub. Appreciate that.
Same with you, Whole Tank. Thank you very much for that. Which kind of when I make after the year 2 anniversary, do I still continue on the Top Clack playlist on YouTube, or do I rename it Top Clack Year 2 and then make a Top Clack Year 3 playlist? Yeah. So
no, it's gonna be good though, guys. More info coming soon. We're still kind of ironing out some details and learning, the things that we're going to be able to give away. So there is that. So just keep an eye on that. Keep an eye on, watch the streams, watch the VODs, or listen to them. Keep an eye on the announcements channel in our Discord.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be something.
5 months in a row. Subbing. Thank you so much, buddy. Sorry I missed it, but I see you there. I scrolled up. I confirmed. Yeah, thank you so much, buddy. So trust me, we're gonna have great prizes. We're not gonna say what the prizes are until we have all the competition set, and we're not gonna Toyota you, which is we promise you a Toyota and then we give you a Toyota. No. We're gonna.
That's awesome. I've never heard of that before.
We're gonna give you the bee's knees, as the kids say. Both of them too. I think bees might actually have more than 2 knees if they do have knees. But we'll give them the required amount of knees that you need.
The cat's pajamas.
The whole one piece.
While we're rambling here, just know that it's coming soon. Competitions will start in the nearish future, and you'll have time, and things will be awesome. It'll be a lot of fun, and you can win a lot of cool things. But as usual, we will roll into a Q&A, as always. So if you guys have questions, we have answers about anything. Or preferably keyboards.
Or
but
if you want us to talk about a discussion point that you have, then hey, it'd be cool if we talk about this. Let us know. Hit that @TopClack so we see your question or comment nice and bright on our screens. Because yeah.
Yep, and as always, make sure you use the @TopClack tag for your questions. That way we can see it a lot easier. Appreciate that. Vominduran is asking, build stream after this episode?
It might be delayed if Brian does it. Brian is. We have actually Top Clack things to do after the stream, so it wouldn't be immediately after. If Brian did it, because come on, guys. I'm kind of 50-50. I have a lot of stuff to do. None of it's very interesting to watch, if I'm being honest. It's just a lot of Switch modifications. Last time I did a lube streamer, I just lubed for 2 hours. I held 40 people the whole time. And I'm like, what are you guys... I was like, why are you guys here? I'm just lubing. And they're like, yeah, I'm lubing too. I'm like, cool.
I don't know. If I did it, it would probably be at 8:30 or even 9 Pacific time, because like Huey said, we have a little bit of top clack work to do after this stream, like immediately. So I'm not sure. I'm kind of, if enough people are like, you have to do this, then I'll be like, okay. But you know, it's not my immediate plan off the top of my head, because I'll just be taking apart switches, lubing switches, ring swapping switches, putting switches back together. Like, it's not going to be that interesting, at least. It's not going to feature any epic fun boards and stuff. But it's possible. We'll see. We'll see how much people actually care. Shadow EZX is asking, why don't you cover GMK Monochrome? Did we do that already?
Before it was renamed to Monochrome, we did when it was called GMK Empire.
Okay.
And they're like, oh wait, Disney exists and they have more lawyers than Jack Hubert. So yeah, so they named it Monochrome. Like, we don't need to cover it again until like it launches for Group Buy. We'll cover it for Group Buy. Like, a lot of you guys who watch our show know, we cover when something initially hits the interest check, and we'll cover it again once, you know, that Group Buy drops. So we're waiting on that. Monochrome, yeah, I like the idea. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, we both love the set. We think it's good. We think it's necessary. And we think it's probably going to sell pretty well. But not a whole lot has changed since like those three people merged together for this set. Like, it's still effectively a high contrast black on white set, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's not really a point to covering it again before the Group Buy, because we are going to cover it once it goes to Group Buy phase anyways.
Yeah, the only thing that's happened is what Brian said. You know, the people came together. It was basically the Tuvix episode of Star Trek Voyager. That's all.
Yep. All right. Mango is asking, who is your waifu?
I have a few.
Yeah. I have a couple myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Reb-chan, because no one likes Amelia. Right? No one likes Amelia.
Oh man.
I got a couple. Keep them on the down low, though.
Yeah.
Kihua is asking, what does Kono mean? I actually have no idea what Kono means.
This. So Kono.store means this store.
Cool.
They're really weird with their naming, because like Hako, like the Hako True just means box. True Hako just means box. So it's like, they've this like very simple naming scheme.
Yep. All right. Trogdor's Arms asking, what about the plonk on Mass Drop? Email was today. Cool new purple case. Is it different than like the last drop? I'm looking at the email right now. I see the Prionic one.
I don't get that email.
I mean, it's cool. Like, it's like I have one. I have an orange one, but I have one, and I like it. I think it's cool. I like simple cases like that, for sure. Captain Kirkus is asking, are you thinking of refreshing/improving the Keep Talk UI?
The UI as a whole, if we do, it's going to be very little, very minimal, to be perfectly honest. It's actually functioning quite great as it is. It does have some learning and some adjusting. One of the biggest things I'd recommend is dark theme, because not everyone's a light theme person, which is the default. Fine. If you want, you can set your default page to the categories page, because that's the most classic forum-like view. Because that still also has the latest stream on one side, but has the typical categories and subcategory organization. You can set that as your default page actually when you go to keeptalk.com and you're logged in. So that's probably the two things I'd recommend for now. But in terms of like actual changes we may make, if we do, they'll be minimal. The biggest thing I'm pushing for is the new logo.
Yep. That one Oscar is asking, how are you guys doing today? I have a 60% that I've been working on with Teslatron and posted the pics on Discord's Keyboard Talks or Keyboard Pictures channel. Would love your opinions. I have Discord open, so I see it, but for other people, show that link in this chat too. Feel free to post the pictures of that. That way other people can see it as well. But from what I am seeing, I am really liking it. I like the fact that it's 60%. I like the fact that you're working with Teslatron, because Teslatron is an A+ guy. I really like him. He's the guy that's running the Lumina keyboard that's made of Corian, if you guys weren't aware. But yeah, this board looks pretty good. You got a 60% big brass weight. I like the top bezel a lot. That's one of the things I like about the meme a lot. Yeah, I dig it. It's simple, but it's kind of complex at the same time. Kind of got that modern curve on the back. It's nice. I would love to see this reach interest check and then eventually group buy. This is something I would own, personally. Capsis is asking, how is Keep Talk going?
It's going great. Actually, we have some moderator interviews coming up. We had a board meeting last week, and we're probably going to have another one pretty soon. We've already voted on some things moving forward, which will be pretty exciting. Overall, doing pretty good. I need to find more time to like make the content I want to post on the site, because like I have like guides and other small stuff that I want to also make and post there and help contribute, which is going to be awesome and fun. But otherwise, things are going pretty good. It's very friendly, very nice community. I'm enjoying it. It's been pretty good.
Cool. Once Save Gaming is asking me, will you support the Alps plate for the QXP? I didn't get one, but I definitely appreciate that it's an option from someone else in that thread, if I'm not mistaken. So in terms of supporting it as in buying one, I don't know if I will. Kind of depends on the price. I have no plans to buy an Alps plate for the QXP, but I do support it in that I think it should be done, because, you know, why not? If there's enough interest for Alps support in something, then yeah, why wouldn't you have it? Absolutely. Brick Cubed is asking thoughts on the kayak. So let me actually share this link.
This is really awesome. So Coda put all the kayak files publicly with a, you know, if you want to download it, you know, it can be free. But if you like it and you like what I'm doing, you know, you can donate to the Coda Fund, which is to feed Coda or whatever he wants to use that money for.
He's got a family, man.
Yeah, he's a family man. So
he's got like daughters.
I think it's really awesome. He made it available for anyone who wants to, you know, take the files and make their own kayak, which uses the Tata 68 PCB, which is really cheap, something like $35 on KBD fans. And you know, it's basically you just materials and PCB and building it. It's pretty cheap. And you know, if you want to throw a few bucks his way for making those free and available for you to use, modify, it's really cool. Really cool. I've been following the kayaks like since he like first like showed it off. And he's like, "This ain't a canoe, it's a kayak."
Yeah, I mean it's neat.
I don't know.
I'm not the biggest fan of wood boards, but obviously you could do this in acrylic too, in theory. But
steel plates.
I like steel plates. I feel like I'm like one of like 5 people that like steel plates.
All steel sandwich.
Oof, that'd be that sound would be very intense. I believe.
Intense, just like the fire at the circus.
Cursor TN is asking, this is a good question. He's asking me, you said that Tribosys 3204 is a good mid-range lube. What is premium lube in your opinion? So this is kind of a tricky subject. I wouldn't really consider any of the more popular and common lubes in the community to be like mid-range or premium or, you know, low end, whatever. I think, you know, you should be using what works for you, because, you know, a premium lube might not be as good as something else. Something else might work better for you. That said, like, as far as like lube substances go, things like Krytox, which is really popular in the community. Krytox makes tons of lubes that the community uses. Krytox is actually a really high-end lube. Like, as far as like lubes go, it's kind of overkill for keyboards, to be totally honest. Which is why I think Tribosys makes a lot of sense. So I'm hoping he gets more variety in his viscosities. But I mean, with that said, you know, Krytox is still wildly popular. A lot of people use it. I still use it. I generally prefer oils. I've really been liking GPL 105 oil by Krytox. I think that's pretty good. I have some 1514. I think that's all right. I have some 106 I still need to try. I need to get some 104. For those of you that don't know, I've been working on a lube guide, and after that I'm going to be working on a lube comparison where I compare like so many freaking lubes, and I talk about the properties that they each have. That's for another time. But yeah, I think whether a lube is premium or not is kind of irrelevant, to be totally honest. You just use what you like. Some people like oils, some people like greases, some people like blends. Like, you know, try things and hopefully you find something you like.
Just don't use olive oil. Don't use olive oil.
I should try that in my lube comparison too. Actually, I just got a huge thing of olive oil. A Smoth is saying, I would watch lube stream at 4 a.m. and nothing to do anyways. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Mango is saying, not a question, but I thank you for inspiring me to get my first real mech. I got all of my stuff this week, and I've never been happier. Awesome. What did you get?
Yeah, share us the deets of your build.
Let us.
It's actually a big deal for Brian and I to like know, like, when people are getting or building their first keyboard, what are they building with nowadays? You know, what are you looking for your kind of price point as you enter, kind of feels or enter? Because it's very radically different from when Brian and I started. As you know, I'm going to build my first mech. So this is actually great information. If you could share it with us, we'd love that.
Yep. Vomindoran is asking, are you lubing the Telios for the Zephyr? That's a pretty cool and awesome board. Yep. I'll be lubing those tonight. I have some other switches I need to take apart and change around and lube as well. So I got a lot of switch work in my feature tonight, as well as other things. Heffies is asking, set suggestions for Zephyr Eggplant Purple. Purple, huh? The eggplant was pretty dark, if I recall. Oof, yeah, Phantom would be good. Yeah, you have to have a pretty dark purple.
Maybe violet tendencies, but I feel kind of meh about that really white alpha versus the darkness of the purple. The case, like the mods would work. I'm not sure about the alphas. But violet tendencies would probably be my number one if you got that, you know, that eggplant emoji Zephyr going on in your life.
Yeah, I think Phantom makes the most sense. I think that would be a good one. Huang Vu is asking, so among all the mounting around now, which typing experience do you prefer the most? Sandwich, PCB mount, half plate, top mount, tray mount, 5mm gasket, etc. Will the second half of this year be the year of mounting solution, since you can only put so much metal on a case and only small tweaks you can make to make it a new design?
So I talked about it in the last month. I already said yes. I think, you know, experimenting with mounting solutions is going to be a big thing coming forward through the end of this year and possibly through, you know, early January, February, March, as people start exploring more things. Favorite mounting. I like top mount most of the time compared to the other mounting solutions. I like half plate. I like some PCB mounts depending on the PCB and case. What I'm actually really excited for is the JER, which is the PCB that's top mounted, and then the switches are PCB mounted. So instead of the PCB being, you know, normally tray, you know, true the PCB onto the tray and then switches on top, the PCB is going to be top mounted and then switches on top. I'm excited for that because that just sounds so cool. Especially if they get like a good thickness for the PCB, which is going to be the big factor because there's no plate. I know, I'm like really excited about this. And
I am. As far as what I prefer, I would probably say top mount, followed by sandwich, and then gaskets probably either at the very top or kind of interchangeable between gasket or between like top mount and sandwich mount. It really just depends on like the board itself, the tolerances, the materials you're using. I think there's a lot more that goes into it than just like how it's mounted. With that said, I am usually pretty reasonable when it comes to everything. Like, I don't mind using a tray mount case like some people do. I don't mind using, you know, a sandwich mount or a top mount like some people might. Whatever, like if I like the board, that's what matters to me, and I've had good experiences typing on pretty much any of those mounting solutions. But I definitely think moving forward, we're going to be seeing a lot more variety. I think gasket is going to start becoming more and more common because I think at least like the way the Beam does it, and I think the way number 1 TKL does it as well is really simple to implement and really inexpensive. Because it essentially just uses like super thin bump-ons in designated areas, and then you just press it together and then you screw it in. Like it's really, really like rudimentary and really, really cheap to do. And I think it does promote like a way better typing experience, to be totally honest with you. And I think it's totally worth it. And I would like to see more boards like that. Pluto19 is asking if that was your Zephyr, Brian. What switches would you have put in there? I have no idea. It's a good question. Maybe retooled blacks. I think that's a better benchmark for trying 5mm brass the first time, because I'm pretty experienced with NX blacks. So like I kind of know like what things sound and feel like based on the rest of the keyboard components. So I think that's what I would have tried first. I don't know if that's what would have stayed in there though. Vominduran is asking, why hasn't category view been set as the default? Norbauer was against it in the thread, but pretty much everyone else supported it.
Actually, people who are vocal support it. Statistically, most people still keep it as the latest view, and there's a lot of evidence from discourse why that is the default and why that's preferred. It's always, in our honest opinion, it's always one of those big things where it's like there's always the vocal minority who likes it their way and wants to be very vocal about it, and that's fine. That's why it's an option to change the categories to the to your default view if you want to. But there's a lot of good reasons that discourse posts with statistics that, for the most part, Ryan and I have talked about and agree on why we, for now, will keep that the default.
All right, there you go. TechSock says, I'm working on a layout for a handwire 40% I'm making in the somewhat near future. What do you think? And then he shares the link with it. Let me just open this up here.
Big ass enter. Bring in the bay.
Okay, if we're being serious, functionally, big ass enter is a joke. But I really appreciate the novelty of it.
I appreciate that space bar.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like a, not the most functional layout, but it looks like something I would use because I'm one of those people that prefers a 40% layout to be like more standard instead of like more crazy, just because I have trouble adapting to crazy. So I mean, it's something I'd rather use over a lot of other 40% layouts. So there is that. Oh man, actually like 8 minutes behind. Sorry, we're gonna rapid fire some of these. Captain Kirkus is asking, did you see the Rama M60 update? Yes, so yes. He got the packaging in for some of the stuff, and it looks fantastic. Big surprise. Viminduran, sorry, I don't know why I keep his name wrong. Asked Brian, ET on Switch Lube guide.
Soon, too.
Man, I was really hoping to have it done by now, but like some real life things came up, and then now we're doing a lot of planning for the 2-year anniversary and other things going on. But it is like the next major thing I'm trying to finish up before I get to anything else. So I would love to say next week, and like that is a very real possibility, like by the end of next week. But I have no guarantees at the moment. But it is very possible the end of next week. Cineponus is asking, did you guys give your thoughts on IC for 3203? I fell asleep during the middle of the stream. Yes, we did talk about that. I am very in favor of bringing 3203 to the market.
Same.
Yep. All right. B the Zebra is asking, have either of y'all reached the point where you will stop buying keyboards?
No. I mean, no. I will take like monetary/financial breaks, but like I would never be like, no, I don't. I'm not at any point where I'm like, I don't need another keyboard. I always want the next coolest, awesome, best thing to show, to try out, to experience. Because, like we said at the beginning, keyboards is a journey, and we hope Top Clack can help guide you on that journey to your enlightened profile.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I think endgame essentially doesn't exist, and if it does exist, it's you have tried literally everything in every combination ever that the community has to offer, and nobody has done that. No, literally, nobody has done that. It's like not even like a thing. It's so freaking hard to reach that point. And like at that point, then you're like, okay, I know what I like best. This is absolutely what I like best. More power to you. But that's just, it's very unrealistic for every single person, basically. So like Huey said, it is all about the journey for me. I love like all of my keyboards, but I would never want to type on any of them like forever, permanently, and that's it, and like have nothing else. Because to me, that's really uneventful, even if it's an amazing keyboard. So this is why when people are like, "Oh, what's your favorite keyboard?" I'm like whatever. Like I feel like. Yeah, like what day is it? Like, you know, I change keyboards so often, and I appreciate pretty much all of them for different reasons. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. TechSock just subbed with Twitch Prime. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Mango's asking, the build I went for is the Tina A, 67-gram Zilios, GMK stabs, and enjoy PBT sushi. Oh, he went the Tina A. Interesting.
Interesting
most
choice.
Most people don't get the true HHKB, so I even though I prefer the more symmetrical 7U version, I definitely appreciate the that nostalgic feeling of the 6U. So very cool.
More power to you.
Mog Genius says, I would disagree and say you don't even reach endgame after trying everything, since tastes change / evolve.
So actually, the point I have to that is you can't try everything because new things keep being made.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's chasing an ending that's getting farther from you at the same time.
The amount of money and the amount of time and the amount of effort you'd have to put into trying everything in the community is just unfathomable. Like there's just too much stuff. You can't. No single person can do that virtually. But that's fine because I don't need endgame, and I don't really think anyone else does either. But I mean, there are those people that are just like, I want one keyboard and one keyboard only, and that's all I'll use for the rest of my life. And that's fine. That's not me, but that's fine. All right, and we are caught up on questions. So now is probably as good a time as any to wrap up.
Any closing thoughts from the audience? Any closing thoughts from you, Brian, on this ever so wonderful July Thursday?
It's very nice and overcast today. It's only like 65 outside, so that feels really good.
It was pretty humid in Fresno today. It reached a whole 10% humidity, and everyone was like, "Oof! How do we live with this much moisture in the air?"
Only 10%. It's like 40. It's like 40 or 50% on average here.
It's 0% average in the summer for us. So today was like 10%. Oof! This is.
Faza, thank you very much for the 100 bits.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Everyone today, thank you so much for all the subs, all the small little bits. Thank you so much for all the support. 2 years coming up pretty soon. August 23rd. Save the date. You know, prepare to be wine and dined without actual wine or dine, unless you bring it yourself. You know, BYOW or BYO alcohol and keyboards. Thank you everyone
and also,
so much.
Also note that for the 2-year anniversary, the contests and stuff are going to start before that episode, at least 1 week before. So just keep that in mind. That the 16th will probably be when stuff starts, or maybe even before that.
We'll be announcing like, hey, you know, we're going to have these contests. We're going to have 3 winners for this. You know, submits. It's going to be.
Yeah, keep your eyes open. Keep your ears open. You know, pay attention to the streams, the VODs, and the announcement channel in the Discord. Speaking of. Below the stream, you can check out our Discord link right there. That is our official Top Clack Discord. You can hang out with us and, you know, tell us how much you hate us or love us, and, you know, bullshit with us, play games with us, whatever. It's a place for everyone, basically. And of course, if you haven't already, below stream, check out the YouTube link for our official YouTube channel. Got a lot of new things coming out, a lot of cool things already out, and yeah, we're coming up on 2K subs if we're not there already. So we'll probably do a special giveaway for that as well.
We are actually at.
I haven't looked in a while.
1,956.
Oh, getting pretty close then.
Closing in.
It's slow going, but you know it's going.
It's going. Thank you everyone so much for the support. Hope to see you next week when we have more awesome news, awesome Top Clack. Stay classy until then.